Welcome back to the LEC Excel find their first win here in the last day of our LEC Super Week, and I'm joined by Dan, Excel's jungler, to talk about this amazing victory. Thank you very much for joining me, Dan. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Oh, how was this week for you? Because first day you face off against Rogue, spring finalist, then things didn't go so well against Astralis, and then you find a win today against Schalke. Did everything go according to the expectations on that last game? And can you explain the result on the past 2 days?
Yeah, well, obviously last split we started off against Rogue, and we're kind of, I guess, used to it as XL, starting off with a tough week. I would say that we expected to win yesterday, and we were in a pretty good spot up until we got double TP'd on and kind of threw the game away. So today I think we approached the game a bit more calmly, and that's why when we did get the lead, we were a bit slower in capitalizing on the lead and just kind of saw the game out a bit slower than we would have probably liked to.
And I mean, when you think about everything for Excel, you had to adjust to some roster changes, something we touched on with Nukeduck yesterday, bringing in the new mid laner and the new support. How has it been for you adjusting to a new mid laner when you compare it to Chocolate in spring? Like, what does Nukeduck bring more in this Excel lineup?
Well, I think from the roster changes especially, we have bigger voices and more experienced players. So, like, for me, the biggest adaptation is that I don't have to solely lead the game. There's a lot more ideas, bigger voices. And yeah, I think for me, it's like, just be happy with doing what I do in the comms rather than last split. I felt like I was doing a vast majority of the leadership, but now it's like a bit more evenly weighted throughout the team.
Yeah,
I'd say that's the biggest change.
Yeah, it must make your job a lot easier, as you said. And I want to touch on the level in general for Excel, because we know that in spring it was very focused on Patrick, especially, and in the bot lane. How do you think it's going to change the whole dynamic for Excel here? And how do you compare this lineup compared to the spring lineup you had in terms of level?
I think right now we're still getting to know each other as a team. We come from like kind of 3 different schools of thought, so we kind of need to get on the same page. But I do see a higher skill ceiling here, and I also think we will be less dependent on Patrick, and we can actually, as we showed today, kind of play through mid, get advantage through mid, and take over the game that way, which is something that I don't think we really managed to do in spring. So it's quite refreshing to be able to play through multiple lanes.
Well, hopefully this is the lineup that will get Excel their first spot in playoff. The road is still long for now, Dan, but that's a good start here in the end of Super Week. For now, thank you so much for the interview, and good luck on the next weeks.
Thank you.
And we're going to take a break now. I'm going to be back in a couple minutes for Vitality versus Misfits. France is strong. Stay tuned.